Well, good afternoon, my YouTube friends. It's Margaret here from M.E.s Orchids, and I thought what I'd do this afternoon is I'd take you through the orchids that I had last week. I think it was a week on Monday, and that they'd been a week in transport, and of course we've had some cold weather this week, but I thought I'd just give you an overview of just how they're going on. And the one that you'll see in front of you now is, there we go, if I just lift it up a little bit, I can get this just to stand, and that's the Vanda Falcata Shootanu, and this is one that I decided to put in this little hanging basket here, and this gets watered, well, the roots get sprayed every other day, and it hangs in the window here, and it's just potted up in grow stones at the bottom, some Orchiata bark, and just a little bit of lava rock just to give it ballast, and that one seems to be doing fine. So that's the first one, and I thought what I'd do is I'd just give you bring each individual one and put it here for you. This one here, which I'll just take out of the little vase, and then you're able to see it better. There we go. This is doing very well as well. This is the, I'll show you the label. I have difficulty saying these names. And this doesn't get watered as often because this one's in grow stone and Orchiata bark, and it sits in this glass vase here, and there's still a little bit of humidity in the bottom of that pot, and I think there's a new growth, or there's something there. And there's the roots. So like I say, this one's doing fine. I'll check the roots again at the weekend, and because what I don't want, of course, is to have everything overwatered. Better to be underwatered at this time of the year for us in England. So that's that one. I'll just put that on the shelf here. Now this is one that I'm going to have to just lift the camera up, or just lift the tripod up, and this one I've just hydrated. This stays dry for a day, probably a day and a half, and then I hydrate it, and that's this one. And I just put that little label down there, and I'll just lift you up. There. And that's doing fine. We've got quite high humidity here today. Well, it's 64%, it's gone down a little because I've been in and out of the room, and it's 24.1 degrees. So that's that one now, and like I say, it'll absorb all that water. I don't put a lot in. It gives it about 24 hours in which to absorb it all, and then it stays dry for probably about a day or a day and a half. So that's that one, and put that back up there, and the other two that are in vases, that's one of them. Just have to watch this because it's catching on the crew momentum, and I don't really want it disturbing it. And that's Vanda Peaches. Probably better just holding it this way. And let's give you an idea. I have to be careful with this one. There we go. I do apologise about that, just manoeuvred it. And there she is. Well, that's the first part of it. And it's got this nice big root here. Actually, it's gone a little bit brown at the end, as you can see, but it just stands in that vase there. Well, it stands in this open basket, and it's just got that one root. I just want to keep my eye on that leaf there. I think that's historic, so I don't think there's any problem there. And so that's that one. Now let's get the other part of it down. And that's this one. And this one was, it was in a more rounded open vase, and I've decided to move it into this one. Look at that, it's lovely, isn't it? And the reason I've moved it into this one is I felt that it would hold those roots more secure in there. Now this one's just potted up with grow stones, and you'll see that little reservoir of water there. And then it's got that other root there. Now that other root that you're looking at now with that little bit of bark, that was the one that was submerged in the water last week. But this week, when I changed it into this one, that doesn't quite reach down, but this root does. So as long as we've got one root keeping it hydrated, this has got that new leaf. So this is as firm as anything, and I'm really chuffed with that one. So I just put the camera down again, move this out of the way, and let's have a look at the others. Now this one here, this is Dendrobium J-Ho Candy, or J-Ho Candy. Now this is the one, if you remember, that came in that coconut husk, and there was no roots. And Michael, one of my subscribers, said, oh, they don't like their roots disturbed. Well, of course, when I pulled it out of that media, there wasn't much roots left. And so this is the better of the two. I'll show you the other one in a minute. And look at this. This is not done too badly, although we've still got a yellow leaf, yellowing there. And let's just take it down a little bit. We have had a little few leaves drop there. Can you see that one also turning yellow? And this is got this little layer of sphagnum moss and a few grow stones and some lava rock. And this one's, to all intents and purposes, a little bit disgruntled about being moved, but hopefully this one will pull on, and in a few weeks' time it'll start to accept this new media and give me some roots. If I put that there and show you the other part, which is now this other part, this is the bit that's upset, to say the least. So let's have a look for you. Let's just bring the camera up. There we go. So I've had quite a few leaves go back on me here, see what I mean? But this is one. This is one of the canes that has flowered, and and that's an older cane. And you'll see I've got these 2 leaves here. I've had a hell of a job to try and keep this one stable in this little tiny pot. I had another go at it last night and put another little stake in. This is a good growth, and likewise with the other. This, I don't know whether this has got as good a root system, but it's not doing too badly. But it's one of those that I've got to be careful. I can't over water, but there again I've just got to keep it hydrated enough. And as I say, it's come with such a shock, having to be taken out of one media, and because it's like most dendrobiums, they'll just dump the roots. There we go. So bear with me a minute now while I just have a look at what else I've got to show you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've got the big Aeroides Volcata, and if I get that one down now, which is a little bit awkward, just bear with me. If I bring this camera back now, and then right, and this is this big one. This is the Aeroides Volcata, and this is the one that's got that nice big root there. But I was a little bit disappointed because it's died back on the end. But that leaf's still growing. The only leaf that's showing any signs of distress is this one here, but it's not the bottom one, it's just this one. So I'm thinking I may lose that one, and this gets watered every day. It got watered last night because I've been working this morning, so it has to stay fairly hydrated, this does, and it's in this open kind of media, and that's the Aeroides Volcata, and so that's going to be watered. As soon as I finish this video, I'll water that, and I usually just spray inside the basket, and that's usually sufficient for that one. So what I'll do now is I'll end this video, and then I will come back and do another video and just show you how everything's going on in the grow room. So take care, be back shortly, bye bye now.